Hello everybody, this is Unit 4, Formative 2, Day 1, Adding and Subtracting Polynomials. So when we add and subtract polynomials, it's just like we're combining like terms. So we have to have the same variable and the same exponent. So for example, if I have a 2x squared, I could add a 3x squared to it. Because these both have the same variable, the x, and they're both to the same power. They're both to the second power. I can also, from these ones, I can subtract a 1/2 x squared, because this also has an x and it's to the second power. But if I wanted to combine a 3x cubed with this, even though it has the x, we can see it's to the third power. So for this one, we can't combine it because it's to a different power, even though it has the same variable. Okay, so for the degree of a polynomial, what we're going to do is we're going to take and add the exponents of our variables only. So for our first one, we have 3x. And our 3, it's not a variable, so we're not going to do anything with the 3. And remember, if the x doesn't have an exponent written up there, we're going to write a 1. So the sum of our exponents is just 1 for this one. For our second one, remember the 3 doesn't count because it's not a variable for this one. And we're going to add our exponents. So we're going to take the 3 plus the 4, which is 7. And for the third one, the -10 doesn't count because, again, it's not a variable. And remember, for the a, if there's not an exponent up there, remember there's a 1 up there. Okay, so then we're going to take 1 plus 3 plus 7, which equals 11. And for the degree of polynomials, we won't see these much in class, but make sure to write this down because it will be on your test. For naming polynomials, we're going to look at the prefix of our word. So monomial, we have mono, meaning 1, so it's just going to be one term. So an example of a monomial is 3x to the 4th. It just has one term, no addition or subtraction. Another example, we could have 1/2 y to the 2nd, z to the 3rd. This is also a monomial because we have no addition or subtraction in that one either. For binomial, bi meaning 2, we're going to have two terms. So we could have 3x squared y squared plus z. And this has two terms, so we have one term here and one term here. They're just separated by an addition sign. We could also have 1/2 y squared plus z. This is also a binomial because it has two terms. For trinomial, we have tri, meaning 3, so we're going to have three terms. So we could have 2x plus y plus z is a trinomial because it has three terms. We have the 2x, the y, and the z. Polynomial, poly, meaning many, just means we have many terms. And these are going to be if they have 3 or more terms. So we could also call a trinomial a polynomial if we wanted to. For adding polynomials, for this one I have this trinomial and this trinomial, and I'm adding them. So when we add them together, we're just going to combine our like terms. So first I'm going to start with my x squared term, so I'm going to take 4x squared plus our 2x squared, which will give us 6x squared. Then I'm going to go to my x term, so I have minus 3x plus 4x, which will give us a plus x. And then just our whole numbers, we're going to take 7 minus 9, which will give us minus 2. And now for our second problem, when we're subtracting two terms, remember we have to distribute our minus sign. So this minus sign right here, we're going to take and distribute it to everything in the parentheses behind it. So I'm going to make it a plus, this will become a minus, that'll become a minus. And then I'm going to combine like terms again. So I'm going to take 3a and a minus 6a, which will give us minus 3a. Then our minus 4m, minus 7m, so we're going to have minus 11m. For this problem, it's just going to be the same concept. We just set it up a little bit differently. So if we're subtracting these two again, remember we're going to distribute this negative. So I'm going to make this a positive, and I'm going to distribute my negative. So if this is a negative, it becomes positive. To the second term, this one's already positive, so it's going to become a negative. And then to my third term, I'm going to make, since it's already a minus 9, we're going to make it a plus 9. And now we're going to go ahead and add our like terms. So we just go down. So we're going to add the 6x to our 4x. So 6x plus 4x is 10x. And then we're going to do the same thing with our y's. We're going to take our minus 7y. And remember, this is a minus 3y. So we're going to take minus 7y plus a minus 3y, which will be minus 10y. And then we're going to combine our whole numbers. So we're going to take plus 2 and add 9 to it. So 2 plus 9 is going to be plus 11. For this problem, we're combining three polynomials. So if the first thing we want to do is we want to distribute this negative. So when we distribute it, it'll become plus, and then 2x is going to become minus 2x, and then this plus 6 will become a minus 6. So now we're just going to write all of our terms down here. We're going to have 4x minus 3y plus 6 minus 2x minus 6 minus 10x plus 6y plus 4. And now we're going to combine our like terms. So we'll start with our x's. So we have a 4x here, a minus 2x, and a minus 10x. So 4x minus 2x is going to be 2x, minus 10x will be minus 8x. And now we're going to do our y's. We have minus 3y here, and a plus 6y here. So minus 3y plus 6y is going to be plus 3y. And once you're done with your terms, if you want to cross them out so you know you already did them, that'll help too. And now all we have left is our whole number. So we'll have plus 6 minus 6, which is 0, and plus 4 is going to be plus 4. Here's our last problem. It says the perimeter of a triangle measures 11x squared minus 10x plus 7. And two sides of the triangle have lengths 3x squared plus 5 and 11x minus 4. I'm going to go ahead and label those on my figure just so I can kind of picture it on a triangle. And it's asking us to find the length of the third side. So the third side's unknown. So I'm just going to put a question mark there because that's what we want to solve for. So they give us the perimeter, and the perimeter is the sum of the three sides. So it's going to be this side plus our unknown side will give us the perimeter. So the first thing I want to do is add up the two sides I do know. So I'll have 3x squared plus 5 plus 11x minus 4. And to add these together, remember we combine our like terms. So I'm going to take my x squared terms first. I just have our 3x, so it'll just be 3x squared, and then plus 11x, and then I'm going to combine my whole numbers. So 5 minus 4 plus 1. And now to find the length of this side that's unknown, I'm going to take the sum of the two sides I do know, so this value, and I'm going to subtract it from my perimeter. So I'm going to take 11x squared minus 10x plus 7 minus the sum of my other two sides. So I'm going to have 3x squared plus 11x plus 1. And remember, when we're subtracting polynomials, the first thing we want to do is get rid of that subtraction sign. So I'm making an addition. I'm going to distribute that subtraction, the negative. So I'm going to have minus 3x, minus 11x, and minus 1. So now I'm going to rewrite it down here so I know what everything is. I have 11x squared minus 10x plus 7, and then I have minus 3x squared minus 11x, and then minus 1. And now I'm going to combine my like terms. So we'll start with our x squared term. So I have 11x squared and a minus 3x squared. So 11 minus 3, I'm going to have 8x squared. I'm going to cross those out so I know I already did those ones. And then we're going to do our x term. So I have minus 10x and minus 11x. So negative 10 plus negative 11 is minus 21x. I'm going to cross those out so I know I'm done with them. And then I have 7, and then minus 1 will give us plus 6. And that is our value of our third side. So that's our question mark on our little triangle there.